Are you a lover of all things dark and creepy, of graveyards and monsters, haunted houses and spooky legends? Then welcome to Lore. I'm Aaron Mankey. For close to 10 years now, I've been sharing history's darkest stories with millions of listeners around the world. Tune in each week as we explore the folklore, ghost tales, and local legends that delivered the chills you're looking for. Learn more and subscribe today over at lorepodcast.com.
If you love chilling mysteries, unsolved cases, and a touch of mom-style humor, Moms and Mysteries is the podcast you've been searching for. Hey guys, I'm Mandy.
And I'm Melissa. Join us every Tuesday for Moms and Mysteries, your gateway to gripping, well-researched true crime stories. Each week, we deep dive into a variety of mind-boggling cases as we shed light on everything from heists to whodunits. We're your go-to podcast for mysteries with a motherly touch. Subscribe now to Moms and Mysteries wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. I have a feeling we're in for some shenanigans, Kevin.
Oh, well, you guys started the shenanigans. I mean, these were just some honest mercenaries trying to fulfill a contract that was due them. And last time
On Critical Hit.
You guys decided that meant, violence. And that's okay. That's all right. But you were not willing to be totally reasonably extorted by the Red Belt Gang on behalf of Big 313. And as a result, you've decided violence is the answer.
As a cab driver, I was told that if someone tries to hold you up, you go ahead and give them the money. Unless they try to take your tips, then you fight to the death.
Keep in mind, violence is not the answer. Violence is the question. The answer is, oh, hell yes.
I mean, we aren't death racers. I don't really know what they were expecting.
Oh, yeah, it's right there in the title, Death Racers.
Death, yeah, racers. Wait, what's the name of the show?
Expected us to die.
Drifters.
We just want to make friends.
On Critical Hit.
All right, Kevin. Last thing I remember is Hecubino spinning around.
Yeah, so Hecubino had walked away from the Squeaky Clean, where you guys had met your android contact of sorts, or rather, he had contacted you, Big 313. And it seems that he's in a bit of a bind because he bet against you in the most recent race, and that has come back to haunt him, specifically in the form of this major debt he owes the Red Belt Gang. So the Red Belt Gang has a handful of armed enforcers, thugs, whatever you want to call them, here at the Squeaky Clean, and they are saying that they are going to ensure everything stays put and safe and secure here on Akaton while you go and get their money, their credits. And Hecubino had talked to them for a bit and started walking off. Skritic and Quentin, notably, are hidden within behind some of the storage containers aboard the ship. And Hecubino had started walking off to consider their proposal with Bob and Vanky at either side. And he had grabbed you each by the shoulders and said something along the lines of, all right, we turn around and shoot them all in 3, 2, 1. And that was where we left off.
Big 313 made a big M1ST @K3. What? I speak lead. I'm a robot.
Boo.
So,
what?
So, Hecubino, because you were the one instigating this, I would, and you're supposedly, walking away from them to have a conversation. yet you're about to turn your blasters or mind powers on them. I'd like a bluff check from you to see if they buy it or if they start unloading their weapons at about the same time. Basically, to see if you get a surprise round.
Make it good.
Yep.
That's
A
good.
20, not a natural 20, but a 20 all.
That's
All
dirty
right.
20.
So Quentin, Skritic, and Amu, I would like sense motive checks from you, and you guys each get a +2 circumstance bonus.
Alrighty, let's see.
Whose motive are we sensing?
You're sensing Hecubino's motive. You're
Oh,
like,
dang.
do I believe Hecubino? Like, basically, are you picking up what
This is
Hecubino's
going to turn
laying
into a
down?
fight.
Yep.
27.
22 with the bonus.
All right. So
18 somehow.
Amu, you poor, naive, pacifist soul, you're like, yeah, we will consider it. There's no way this is going to turn into violence.
Wait, does that count Amu's circumstance bonus?
Oh, that did not.
So a
20.
20 for you.
Oh. And then you're like, wait a minute. That goes against everything I know about this crew.
He's
So
learning.
the good news is actually this worked out about perfectly, although, that's kind of lucky for you guys, where Hecubino was able to bluff the Red Belt Gang, but not bluff his companions. So the good news is you guys all know this is about to turn into a fight before they do. So that means, believe it or not, you guys get a surprise round. Now, a surprise round in Starfinder just means you get a standard or a move action. You can also take a swift action as part of it. But you don't get a full round's worth of actions.
What would constitute a swift action?
I mean, various abilities say they're a swift action.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that there's a default set of swift actions, but could look it up. But certainly, basically specific class abilities will tell you that you can do this as a swift action. But I think you can switch how you're holding something. So if you're holding a two-handed weapon in one hand and just having it active, whereas let's say you're using the other hand to cast a spell or something, I think it's a swift action to regain a hold of it, stuff like that. A swift action is, if you're kind of familiar with the 4E sense of things, like a minor action. It's pretty it takes up a very small amount of time. Anyway, so Hecubino, would you mind specifically saying whatever it is you said last time exactly word for word?
Oh, Lord. Definitely do not remember.
Or whatever.
But yeah, so it's probably something along the lines of okay, on 3, we turn around, let's try to keep the leader alive so that they don't blast the ship. 1, 2, 3, go! Also, this was all happening presumably in their brains, because I'm psychic.
You have that ability?
If I touch them, yes.
Ooh, nice.
And you did grab our shoulders, so yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and one other thing to keep in mind, the Red Belt Gang has told you that they have a vehicle parked up on a ridge, something like, several hundred meters away, and they have some sort of weapon trained on the ship. So that's
why we want to keep the leader alive.
Worth remembering. Quentin, you have your little hiding spot, and you can see Hecubino grab each of them, and you zoom in using your special zoom things, and you can see pull their heads in close, and you're like, uh-oh, I know what this means. And in the surprise round, you are the first to act.
So right next to the doors, the entryway to this storage area, there's a couple of duders. One seems to have a red shoulder.
They both do. Yep.
Are those enemy duders?
They are.
Okay, so the one northward in the things, this cat right there, yes, immediately in front of where my floating dome is, is going to totally not notice the floating camera droid until it melts his face. I would like to attack him.
All right. What are you attacking him with?
The innocent floating camera droid sort of unfolds, and an electric arc pistol just kind of floops out and shoots in his face.
All right, cool. Would you like to move from where you are to be like closer to him? It doesn't really matter because you have the range. Or are you just like floating about innocently and then bam, arc pistol?
Just literally raise up and look like I'm scanning the room and getting ready to, record a perfectly normal transaction. Bam!
All right, cool. Make your attack. And the good news is that he is flat-footed, which I will take into consideration on my side. But you basically take he takes a penalty to his armor class. So go ahead and
my ranged attack bonus is 6, which means it's a D20 plus 6 to attack. Is this correct?
Yep.
Hooray! I know the game.
Yeah. And yet Quentin is so consumed with looking innocuous that when he pulls his arc pistol out, he's basically got it off to one side as if it's not a big deal, and then he blasts it into the side of the ship harmlessly. And this guy goes, "Huh, what's going on?" And turns to look around to see what has happened, but you miss.
Malfunction, camera droid, malfunction.
Vanky.
So we cannot take a full action, like a charge action in a surprise round?
Right. You can take either a standard or move action. And swift.
Well, I can't. Let me see the cone on my flamethrower. I might be able to get like 2 of those guys without.
This is big 313.
Yeah. So if I stepped, no, I can't both get. So I'm just gonna actually, she'll step up, like she's gonna be casual, and then stand herself right next to like big 313 and put her hand on her shoulder and be like, "This is gonna get violent. You better be on the right side." I'm actually gonna be put me so that I'm threatening both. Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you walk up all the way behind big 313 and like tap him and say, "This is gonna get bad."
Yep.
Well, with that stage whisper, Marcos and Marco and the other red belter here start fingering their weapons, but they don't know that they're already too late. Bob, what do you do?
All right, everybody, calm down. There's no need for anybody to act irrationally. And I pull out my gun and I shoot the guy closest to me down there at the bottom.
All right, make your shot.
All right, I've only got one shot.
Do not miss. To
go. 12.
12. Well, 12 is an unimpressive roll,
Are they
but
flat-footed?
they're flat-footed. Now, what kind of weapon is this?
This is just your typical laser pistol.
It's a laser pistol, which means you're targeting EAC, which means you hit.
All right.
Ooh.
So I do 6 points of damage.
All right. He gets blasted by a laser through his like trench coat and extra armor, and they seem taken aback and kind of stagger under this unprovoked onslaught.
Sorry.
Hecubino, you're next.
What do I know about Big 313's preferred mode of combat?
Well, he's physically very strong, like super strong. Has had augments to his strength, and his frame is like kind of absurdly bulky. You're not even sure if it's healthy.
Okay.
If you were closer to him as friends, you might talk to him about it, but you've never had that kind of relationship.
So me like passing him my arc pistol is probably not something that he's gonna care about or that's particularly gonna help him.
Right.
Okay. Well, in that case, I will.
You've actually seen him crush arc pistols in his hand.
Sure. In that case, I will use my arc pistol to. Which one did Bob shoot?
The one at the bottom, the green guy.
I will also shoot at that one. And this time, non-psychically, will yell, keep the leader alive so they don't blast the ship. And then just shoot that guy. I rolled an 8.
All right. Your blast
Ooh.
goes off to one side as you are way too excited about turning around and less so on the aiming. So you make your dramatic reveal and you shout to the team, but the blast goes wild. And it seems like these trained mercenaries now know that they're in a firefight, but they still don't know that Skritic is behind them. So Skritic, what do you do?
Well, I guess first of all, I should mention apparently when I can act in a surprise round, I get a +2 to my initiative for that combat. I don't think it's really going to matter in this particular situation, but
that's one of those things that in this particular case doesn't matter.
Yep. Just figure
Yeah, but like
at
you
least.
get that for the rest of the combat, right?
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
so it's cool, and I will
But-
adjust the initiative sheet accordingly. It doesn't make you go in front of Hecubino, so nothing would have changed so far. But good for me to know. Thank you.
Too many of those jerks rolled too high, and I did not. So, do I also have line of fire to the one that Bob hit? It's kind of a
Well-
pillar there.
There's a pillar kind of right in front of you.
Yep.
I would say they certainly have cover. And even if you were trying to angle a shot, they've got these storage crates here. Yeah, they're definitely cover.
Okay, didn't think so. Kind of think I'll just try the one then that Quentin fired at, and just try to shoot him with my semi-auto pistol.
Sure. Now, do you get to make some sort of trick attack as part
That
of your?
takes a move action.
Oh, it takes a move action. Okay,
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
So nope, can't stealth it up as part of that or survival it up. So I'll just do a shooty shoot. Although
They're still flat-footed, so that's
still
good.
flat-footed, but I can't then inflict further flat-footed or off target for the rest of the round. 13.
Again, because they're flat-footed, you hit. Not by much, but you barely hit, unloading your semi-auto on them. And so how much damage does that deal?
Looks like 5, and I don't believe that's. Let me check. That's not adding the 2 that I get from my weapon. Yeah, so 7.
All right, 7. Yeah. Your character sheet probably isn't taking into account your weapon specialization.
Yeah.
Well, in
Yeah,
any
you
case,
gotta like hard at that.
so you start shooting. Amu, bullets are flying by you. So I guess this means it's combat. Your instincts were right, and the belter nearest you is getting shot at from some innocuous container behind you. What do you do?
We will actually shoot a double booster into Bengi, giving her a +1 enhancement bonus to AC and a +10 foot bonus to speed.
Ooh.
Well, hold on a second. Are you doing it at range? Because do you have to make it an attack roll, or can you do that automatically to a willing target?
To a willing target, I believe I get to do that automatically. Give me just a moment to double check.
Sure. So basically, you throw an injection dart at Vangie, and Vangie like lifts up her arm, and it injects into your lizard muscle, and you feel lighter, you feel faster, and you said it was a bonus to armor class.
Bonus +1 enhancement bonus to AC, +10 foot enhancement bonus to speed.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
you're dodging around people, and this is a great feeling. You should get injected with Amu's stuff all the time.
I mean, yeah.
I'm sorry I said that. Oh boy.
Hooray for drugs.
So yep, it doesn't require an attack roll because
Perfect.
within
So
range
that's
of my
your
micro lab.
swift action. Do you have any swift actions?
We're gonna drop down behind this cover in front of us. That is
Okay.
cover right there. That I crate.
Yep.
Yeah.
That means it's a firefight. And the first 2 opponents to act are these 2, the guys in green right here, though they have their red belt sashes on, and they signal to the boss, and they're like, "Hey, boss man, time for violence?" And he's like, "Oi, aye." And they unload their laser rifles and take point blank aim at, let's say, well, this guy's right next to Vangie, so that's a little scary. Vangie is a giant Vesk.
True fact.
So, Vangie, what are you armed with currently?
I'm
what are you
currently
holding?
armed with my pike.
Okay. With your pike. Yeah.
Yep.
That's
almost like
that's,
I moved into melee where I'd have reach against multiple people, like a plan.
What? What's a plan?
It's a NELP spelled backwards.
Oh.
So I think this one's going to take a guarded step backwards and fire directly on Vangie, while this one will fire on Bob because Bob shot him.
Yeah. So real quick question. My laser says fire, that's the type of damage. He's not on fire though, right?
No, so if you had critically hit, I think it has the property burn, which means that they would be on fire.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So you basically shoot him with a laser beam, and it blasts through his armor, and he's scorched up, but not currently on fire. So, speaking of laser beams, that is exactly what they're going to use to fire on you, as they have little laser rifles of their own. Will make their attacks. Bob. Ooh, I'm sorry, guys. Okay. All right. Well, you're definitely both hit. Bob, you are critically hit. So
no.
That conversation we were just having about burn damage, you're going to be taking it. So you take 10 fire damage. Sorry, I had not rolled my second time. So you take 10 fire damage, and you are on fire. Yeah.
It smells like burned rubber.
So as long as you have the burning condition at the start of your turn, you'll take fire damage.
Okay. Is there a stop, drop, and roll action in the
definitely
game?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So and Vangie, you take 4 fire damage from a successful shot to your flank.
Ouch. Does that still go to stamina as opposed to hit points?
Mm-hmm. Goes to stamina first. All right. Then you guys hear Marco call out, "Meng, we need the tactical support." And you start experiencing sniper fire from over the ridge.
Crap.
Yep. I mean, you guys turned this into a fight. It's not my fault. So they will sniper fire on Hecubino because they have the clearest shot on Hecubino.
Okay.
So again, we're just gonna keep rolling natural 20s. So we're gonna critically hit you two. Sorry.
Man, maybe change your dice out.
Oh, I'm liking them.
I think there's an issue.
But fortunately, a sniper rifle, or at least the model they're using, has no critical hit effect. So you merely take 9 piercing damage, Hecubino, from a bullet shot just over the ridge, and you can see a glimmer of their sight catching the light. You didn't even know they were there, and evidently they have a little bit of extra tactical backup. Then this belter will go, and she'll say, "Marco, I have the computers," and we'll run in and go to a computer console and start pulling out wires and putting in her own little drive and data pad and start typing furiously.
That does not sound good.
Yep. So
I know this seems bad, but I'd just like to make a note to talk to Vangie later about how glad I am that we lost our Akaton accents.
So, creeping out from one of the disposal waste units is an innocuous little ooze with big googly eyes.
Uh-oh.
It just starts creeping up the walls. And Quentin and Amu and Skritic, you see this, but nobody else does. As it starts, it's just hiding out, and it seems to be waiting for its moment. It seems to be moving pretty slowly. You've seen it move a lot faster than this, but no one seems to have paid it any mind. Marcos will take a guarded step backward from Vangie, and he will pull out his plasma bolter. So think of this as like a crossbow, but it shoots bolts of plasma.
Sweet. Man, I definitely should have taken step up instead of cleave this level. Oh well.
Well, it would be helpful for this combat, but who knows? Maybe cleave will come up later. So Marco backs away from you and says, "Oh, that's this gonna be the worst mistake you ever make." And he blasts you point blank. What's your kinetic armor class?
Well, provided that the buff from Amu helps that as well, it is 21.
That's a pretty good kinetic AC, but he still hits you. So the plasma bolt is both electricity and fire as it just jolts your system for a moment, and you take 9 damage.
Ooh, ow.
Quentin. So you're no longer hidden because you did shoot before. So now they're pretty sure you're an enemy camera droid, but you are still safely ensconced within the storage unit on the ship. What do you do?
Malfunction. Okay. Who should I melt?
It's a target-rich environment.
It really is.
Kami, I think Marcos had called her, has gone off to start hacking. Most of them seem to be involved in blasting.
All right, I'll blast her. Well, she's not involved in blasting. Everybody's blasting. I mean, she won't be cool if she doesn't join in. So I am going to... Can I fly over and attack her? Do I have to fly over? I don't actually have to do anything.
So you can just keep where you are.
Yeah, it looks like you have line of sight, so...
Yep.
I have line of sight, and I have cover here if someone would try to attack me. I think I'm going to shoot her. I am going to electro frap gun bolt her in the face. For 25 is the attack.
Ooh, it's going to hit.
Hey! I wonder how many damage that is. It's electricity damage, which will cause her to stop hacking. What I've heard. All right, so my damage did not go up when we leveled, did it?
You know, like those bad guys who, when they take electricity damage, it supercharges them?
Yeah, she's not.
It actually, Matthew, it probably did. If your class comes with that weapon, then you probably did get a +1. So it's probably whatever the die is +2, because that was the deal with mine too.
Okay.
Yep.
Groovy.
Hey.
Cow. 8 damage.
Oh yeah,
to the
because
head.
weapon specialization upgrade. Thanks for the reminder. I need to actually upgrade that myself.
That is a solid little chunk of damage to this mechanic who is not expecting to be blasted from a droid over some storage containers. And that certainly seems to distract her as she's trying to get into your systems. So good job, Quentin. That brings up Big 313. And he'll turn to you and be like, so I guess this is a fight then. Well, at least I'm familiar with that. And he'll lower his hairless, not really shaved since he just doesn't have hair. His head and barrel charge into the nearest red belter and try to knock them to the ground, which he successfully does, and he starts basically grappling with them.
Nice.
Zangy, what do? You have your pike in one arm.
Vengi will. So I assume that Starfinder is like Pathfinder, right? Like ranged weapons don't threaten.
Correct.
Then she is going to step up to the front of the ship, basically, so she's like adjacent to both Marco and that other dude.
Yep.
And she'll say, I don't know, I've made some pretty bad mistakes. And then she's going to try to stab him with her pike.
When you say him, do you mean Marco?
Yeah, she means actually, well, I'll try to stab this other dude because we.
All right.
Hecubina said to keep Marco alive.
You take a move action. Sure, not full attacking. Does cleave require a full attack action, or is it just?
No, cleave is just a standard action, but they need to be the enemies need to be adjacent to each other.
Oh, I gotcha. All right. Well, then why don't you make your attack roll?
Cool. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Cool. And I get like full weapon specialization, not like half that.
Because you're a soldier, and yeah, it's not a light weapon.
And takes 17 damage.
Yikes! Oof, that is a brutal blow. So, what? This is a tactical pike that you're hitting him with.
Mm-hmm.
So just what's the tactical pike look like?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a long steel, like I mean, it kind of basically looks like a pike, but like maybe like burnished
and like with unnecessary rivets and spikes on it.
Yeah, exactly. And like burnished, like that kind of like frosted steel look, make it look all fancy, high tech.
Well, you smash through this guy's armor, which seems to be a haphazard, set of plates and coat and stuff like that, and it just rips apart, and blood goes everywhere, all over the floor, and he staggers back under the sudden onslaught from your pike. He is definitely grievously injured.
Sweet. Can I see Squeebo from where I am?
Yes. Squeebo
Good, so there will be a witness.
Squeebo has both his like giant googly eyes, and he has a big, almost smiling, open-mouthed maw.
Yeah. Then as she like kind of like pulls the pike out, she'll just say, "Squeebo, clean up this mess."
If anything, his eyes like start dotting around and dancing, and the little gel starts to get more excited. You see bubbles coming up from the little disc at the bottom.
Sweet. That's me.
Bob, that brings it to you.
Yeah, I'm on fire.
Yeah, you are. That's true.
Do I take some damage from that?
You're going to take 2 fire damage.
All right. It's not too bad.
So at the end of every round in which you're burning, you can make a reflex saving throw to end it.
Okay.
So just automatically.
Okay, so I don't have to use one of my actions to do that.
You don't.
Okay. All right then. I'm just going to go ahead as just like an instantaneous reflex action of being suddenly aware that I'm on fire and freak out and pull that trigger on my laser pistol extra hard and use my full action to hit that guy that I shot at before. So I hit him twice for is that a nat 20?
No, it would be an.
Oh, it'd be green. So first attack is a 20.
That will hit.
For 3 damage.
Okay.
Second attack, a 3.
No, that misses.
And then you set a reflex action to see if I get put out.
Reflex saving throw, yep.
11.
You're still on fire.
No.
I know.
What's the diff? 15?
So, Bob unleashes some fire, but is still on fire. And that's when Marcos calls in, I, Cinnabar, unleash! And the vehicle up on the ridge, which has some sort of big laser attached to it, think of it as like a pickup truck with, I don't know, some Elon Musk boring drill laser beam attached to it. And it starts shooting at the Squeaky Clean.
No, not my ship.
Yeah, your ship.
Grace, shields up. I think she does have shields up, right? Isn't that what Quentin told her?
Oh, right. So shields are up. Grace will be like, shields are up. But there is a problem with that, which is that as this focused beam of energy starts firing, you realize it doesn't stop. This isn't the way like a normal starship weapon would function, where you blast and it's like boom and it absorb. The shields are able to absorb all of that energy and kind of spread it out. Instead, it's a consistent, steady stream. They must have a power source up on their vehicle. And you realize this isn't a regular starship weapon. This is a mining drill, like a laser drill that's been turned into a weapon. And unfortunately, that means when it starts blasting, which it is doing currently, it starts to eat away at the shields and the hull of the ship at the same time.
No.
Yeah.
That guy that I shot, is he even bloodied yet? Is he bleeding out?
No.
No.
That was the first damage he took, so he is not bloodied. So the way this works is that's called a burrowing weapon. And basically half the damage is taken by the shields, half the damage is taken by the hull. So I'll go ahead and keep track of that. But you should know that the Squeaky Clean and Grace, as its caretaker computer spirit, is starting to be ripped into by this vehicle from afar. Hecubino, you're up.
So here's what I would like to do. I would like to position myself in such a way that I can hit, hopefully, Marcos, this guy that is here at the just getting into the ship, and maybe the computer person in a 30-foot cone without hitting Vangie. Okay. Can I move there and do that?
So you're easily able to get to there, and then that's a 30-foot cone.
Okay, so I will use Force Blast, which, let's see, Mighty Wave, blah, blah, 30-foot cone, damaging and potentially knocking back your enemies. This spell deals 2d6 force damage to each creature in the area unless it succeeds at a reflex saving throw for half damage. And then if... it's like additionally from this, I get to attempt a bull rush on everything in the cone.
Nice.
Great. And what's your saving throw DC?
17.
Okay. So what happens when they fail their save? They take the full damage. Does anything else?
They take the full damage. So afterwards I roll my caster level plus key ability score versus their KAC, but no, the only thing that happens on a missed save is taking full damage.
Okay, cool. So Marcos and the person, Kami, the person at the computer, both take full damage. This one manages to kind of he drops to a knee and is able to roll with some of the damage, and it blasts off into some of the containers over here. But go ahead and roll that damage first, and let's go ahead and resolve that.
Okay. So that's 2d6. So 5 damage.
Okay. And, Kami had already taken a decent shot from Quentin. So Kami's looking somewhat injured. Marcos, he's pretty much fine. And whoever this is, he is also pretty much fine.
Okay. Now I will attempt a bull rush attempt. So I'll roll a d20 plus
Your
my-
caster level, which is your level.
my caster level, which is 2, plus
Is your caster level 2 or is it 4?
oh, it's 4, yeah. Plus my key ability mod, which is 4. So this is against their compare the
KAC?
result to each target's KAC plus 8, which I think is just like the maneuver AC.
Oh, yeah. Absurdly high in this
Yeah.
game.
Nice.
No reason. Although that's a good roll.
Yeah, so if I'm successful, that creature is knocked back 5 feet, plus 5 additional feet for every 5 by which my attack exceeds their KAC, plus 8. If there is an obstacle in the way, the creature stops at the obstacle instead.
All right. Well, we'll knock this guy back 5 feet, and we'll knock Kami back 5 feet. But Marco stays standing where he is.
Okay.
He just it's one of those things where, one foot goes behind him and you can see like the ball of his foot in his boot starts scraping under the dirt and like a little cloud kicks up and he looks up at you with evil in his eyes.
Okay. And basically the way that looked, Hecubino just kind of like leans his face forward and a little like just a little point of light like shoots out extremely fast out of his face, like out of his forehead. There's like a moment of silence and then like just this huge blast, and it doesn't look like anything. It's just like dust being kicked up that blasts everybody back.
Like, if we were watching this on TV, we'd see like, little vibrational waves over it and everybody like, falling back under the onslaught. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Well, then it's these two, Anders and Dawes, as they are solidly under assault. So this one, being in melee with a Vesk, will set aside his laser rifle and pull out a tactical longsword and try to stab you, Vangie.
Bring it.
What is your KAC?
21.
So he stabs forward and you're able to dodge and kind of push the longsword off to one side. You've clearly got more melee training than this guy does. This one, however, is going to move and start blasting at Hecubino. So Hecubino, this is going to be from another one of those laser rifles. So what is your EAC, your energy armor class?
EAC is 14.
Then you are hit and take 5 fire damage.
Okay.
Then we have a surprise guest appearance. So this crate,
Yes!
it moves 5 feet.
Yes!
Look out, Kami.
They were warned. They were warned.
I'm pretty
Man,
proud.
that's a sweet figure.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of this mini for Herman, the crate fiend.
What mini is that actually?
Well, it's some sort of crab. It's
Well, it's sweet.
it's called a cave catcher. But yes, I thought it looked kind of, appropriately crustacean. And so I've always kept in mind that this was the crate that was Herman. It's a little hidey hole. So, Rob, why don't you go ahead and make a bite attack for Herman? I've determined that with Amu's connection to Herman, Rob will be making the attack rolls for him.
Seems legit.
28.
Holy crap! Yeah, that hits. And watch roll damage.
Critical corrode. I'm assuming that's only on a crit.
That's correct. Yeah, that's its special ability. It's kind of like catching them on fire, but it's catching them on acid.
11 damage.
Yeah, 11 acid damage, right?
A and P.
Acid and piercing. Fair enough. All right. Well, that that stings. And actually, the computer hacker goes down from that bite. Skritic, you see all of this happening before your Yosoki eyes. What do you do?
So, is the person that's like in the middle of the bay here, are they a baddie? Yeah, that one.
No, that's Amu.
Oh, that's Amu. Okay, that's not
It's
a
multiple
Amu.
persons.
Hi, friend.
I'm kind of thinking I'll just kind of run towards the opening of the cargo bay and duck behind some boxes and try to take a pot shot along the way while ducking between crates, trying to use stealth for my trick attack.
Sure.
All right. Quite as fancy, but we'll see.
Which one are you attacking?
Yeah, who are you
I want to
attacking?
attack
That's a good
the
question.
north guy. That's the other one with the red shoulder pads.
At the entrance.
Yeah,
There's two of them. The one closer
So
to the
one-
camera or the one further away?
further away.
You'll be shooting DAWs.
I think I rolled a 32, so I'm guessing that hits 20 plus their challenge rating.
I'm not throwing CR12 soldiers at you.
Not yet.
So that is successful. So you catch them flat-footed.
Yep.
And you also get your trick attack
Damage.
D4, is it?
D8.
It's D8 now. Nice.
Would have been last level 2, but all right. And so shoot with my tactical pistol. So can I do? I'm just gonna add it in here. 1d8.
I'm thinking that this guy who got a 17-point hit from Vangi from that pike and is bleeding from like the neck to shoulder to chest area and now being trick attacked.
Not having a great day.
Not having a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just 9 damage.
Yep, down he goes.
Murder his face.
What? I guess first I need to verify. Does a 16 hit
Yes, it does.
plus the 2 or the flat-footed?
He's flat-footed as well, yeah.
Okay, so he went down with that.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, okay then.
Hey, that's not a bad action. I mean,
Rest of
morally,
the-
I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad to kill people, but in terms of efficacy,
We're
One
bad
less
people.
enemy is good. But I think that's my turn.
great. Grace will connect on the comms to all of you and say, "We're under attack from that ship on the ridge. Unfortunately, I do not have automated controls over the weapon systems. If someone could man the coil gun, I'm sure they're well within range. Otherwise, it's just going to continue eating away at the hull, which isn't great. Amu, you're up.
Amu's turn. Oh boy. Where is the boss?
Right in front of you.
All right. That's the boss. There are no more baddies in the ship, right?
That's correct. They've all left the ship, technically. I mean, these two are unconscious and bleeding out, but yeah.
They left the ship for another plane of existence.
Let's take a step forward. I'm going to use my reach grapple weapon to take a hold of the boss person.
Nice. Yep, you do have a reach grab weapon. Yeah. It's pretty funny.
A 20?
And that's against their KAC?
Sure.
Yes, I believe it is. So the way that those weapons work is unlike a normal grab attempt where you're targeting their KAC plus 8. I think they just target their regular KAC, but you can still grab them with it, which is very good.
Oh yeah. So we have him grabbed.
What's the name of the weapon again?
The name of the weapon is a merciful capture pull.
All right.
It's a grapple, injection, and a reach. And
Oh, so do you also deal non-lethal damage with that?
oh, cool. We're okay with non-lethal damage. It's to prevent my friends from being harmed.
Oh, so actually, you're trying to grapple them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I was incorrect. I just reread it. So it is going to take your full attack. You don't deal non-lethal damage to them.
Okay.
You can choose to either basically inject them with it, because also an injection weapon, which is hilarious, or be grappling them. So I'm assuming you're grappling them. Is that right?
Yes.
And it gives you a bonus to grapple. So you had a 20, so
Yes.
it actually becomes a 22. So unfortunately, believe it or not, because you're up against the boss, he grabs it with one hand and throws it to the side. So you still
We'll
have
get you next time.
a swift action if you wish, if you have anything.
I don't know that I have anything that's particularly effective as a swift action.
Yeah, grappling the boss, while it would be super sweet, is also a little tough. Completely understandable. After Amu's attempted snag at the boss, then it goes back around to a couple of the. Well, one of them is actually down and out for the count, but another one of the red belters will turn and blast at. One of them's trying to grapple the boss. One of them just blasted an opponent from. You know what? We're going to shoot at the giant coral monster directly in front of me.
Yeah.
And that means you, Amu.
Oh,
What is your energy armor class?
bad.
Well, my attack
14.
roll's pretty bad. Nope. Then I miss. The shot goes wild, blasts against one of the containment facilities, and out pops a bunch of the Space Suds packets.
No,
What?
that's worse. They should have hit Amu.
You could have survived that.
That's the secret insulation to the ship.
That's what prevents you guys from suffering like radiation.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Then it's time for some sniper fire from over the ridge. This time we're going to shoot at the person who's out in the open by themselves. It's going to come after Bob.
Hooray.
And yeah, so the Sheeran have these really advanced tactical rifles, and you've studied them before.
I have.
And now you know what it feels like to be shot right in the chest with one. I critically hit again, so you're going to take 12.
Jeez, Kevin.
12 damage. Okay, all my stamina points are now gone.
Yike.
I am now
Yep.
going into hit point territory.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, what good is healing
Really?
if you don't go into hit point territory, right?
I guess.
So
Yay,
That would-
I'm useful.
that would bring up Kami, the mechanic, but Kami is out of commission at the moment. So that brings up everybody's friend, Squeebo. So Squeebo looks at the body, this person, and has been told to clean up the mess.
Oh no.
So this person is technically still alive. They've just been, shot and piked, so they're not looking too good until Squeebo comes to them. So Squeebo comes and just rolls over their body, and you start seeing him get sucked into the center body of Squeebo, and Squeebo starts expanding, and one of his tendrils goes and picks up one of those packets of Space Suds too, to start fueling him some more. And Squeebo grows, and his eyes grow, and his mouth grows, and you see the guy's body floating inside Squeebo for a moment until it starts dissolving in front of you, and then there's just a skeleton.
Man, The Blob was a movie that freaked me out as a kid, and that was the Steve McQueen version of The Blob, and not the 80s remake of The Blob.
Steven's never going to forgive you.
Note to self: don't fall asleep in the mess hall.
Grit my decisions.
And it will just say in a somewhat deeper voice, almost sounding like it's about to burp, Squeebo.
Gross.
And then it ejects the skeleton and lots of other little detritus on the just outside the ship, fortunately for you guys. But the good news is that seems to intimidate the rest of the regular red belters. They're like, "Oh my god, what was that thing?" So
that's legit.
Marcos will say, because Marcos is the next one up. You killed Dawes! You'll regret turning against the Red Belter gang. This means war. And he will take a guarded step back, and he will shift what weapon he has out as a swift action, which is kind of fancy, and he will pull out a machine gun and start blasting both Vangi and Hecubino. So Vangi, KAC?
Still 21.
It bounces off your armor.
Sweet.
What kind of armor are you wearing?
Golden forged plating. There we go. It's like kind of like a mercenary armor. It looks like plate mail, but for future.
So you're super fast because you're hopped up on Amu juice and
gross.
And you have golem armor. So you'd like dodge, except a few of the bullets bounce off your plates. Hecubino, your KAC?
15.
Yeah, you're hit.
Yeah, I figured.
That's going to deal 12 piercing to you.
Okay. Well, still have at least 2 stamina points.
There you go. If you're not in hit points yet, doesn't really count, right?
Yeah.
Quentin.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
Get to the chopper.
the chopper. Somebody needs to get into the ship and do the thing in the thing.
Yeah, so question. We were talking a minute ago, Kevin. How does attacks of opportunity work if these guys are holding weapons, ranged weapons?
They don't get them.
Okay, so theoretically I could run past these guys and not have to worry about attack of opportunity.
Right.
Unless they have natural weapons, but they don't seem to.
Okay, well, regardless, Matthew, I'm not going to make it into the ship.
All right. Well, could our favorite floating sphere make it to the weapons controls, utilize those weapons controls, and start shooting back at the goobers on the ridge?
Yes, you could. You're, in fact, the one closest to such a control panel. So you can get into this room back here and start making gunnery checks. So a gunnery check is a lot like an attack roll. In fact, it basically can be an attack roll. But instead, if you're a trained pilot, you can use your piloting skill instead.
You don't have piloting, do you, Matthew?
I do have piloting.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of piloting, but I do have piloting. It's a trained skill. It claims my piloting is 3 + 3.
Yeah.
But somehow still says 3. Shouldn't that be 6?
Depends. What is your total? It says your total is 3?
I have class bonus of 3, ability modifier of 3, and a piloting of 3. Shouldn't that be a piloting of 6? Or do they not stack?
What is your dex?
103. 16.
Okay. That's
Yeah, it should be your
+3 bonus.
Should be your dex plus your CS plus your rank.
Do you have ranks in?
Do I have rank in it?
Do you have ranks in pilot?
No.
Okay, that's why. It's not actually counting. You have to have a single rank in pilot to get the trained modifier or the class modifier for it. So it's just taken into account the fact that you have a high dexterity.
But I do have a star next to that. Doesn't that mean that it's a trained skill or it's a class skill?
No, that means that it's a class skill. So if you put a single rank, you'll get +1 for that, and then +3 because it's a class skill. So the moment that you put a rank in it, you'll get a +4. And then however many more ranks. That's what separates class skills from non-class skills in Starfinder.
Got it.
Yep.
So right now I just have my ability modifier.
That's right.
But he's not actually trained in it, so I don't know if you can use that in place of the gunnery.
That's true. That might be another thing. Actually,
but that would be considerably less than my ranged attack if it was just a ranged attack.
I'm pretty sure you can. There are specific skills that are trained only. Computers, culture, engineering, life science, medicine, mysticism, physical science, profession, and sleight of hand. But pilot you can do untrained. So unless it specifically says that a gunnery action can't be done untrained, he should be able to do it untrained.
I want to see Squeevo eat some more people.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't, right?
Let's feed him some more people.
Well, that would kind of be up to Amu. He's pretty much the only one who has like a good like grab and drag attack pattern.
I thought you were going to say something about morality.
Oh, no.
We're all terrible people.
So basically, a gunnery check is it's of course a D20 roll plus your base stack bonus or your ranks in piloting. So do you have ranks in piloting, Quentin?
No. I
All right,
have
well then
piloting, but I don't have ranks.
Well then, it's going to be your base attack bonus plus your dexterity mod. So it's basically a regular ranged attack bonus, but you also get a bonus from Grace from the computer system. So why don't you make a regular ranged attack roll?
Do I get a great? What's my Grace bonus? Yeah, what is it? Tell me. Tell me.
It's +1. Actually, it's +2. Lies. I forgot.
All right, so I'm just rolling a d20 plus my regular ranged attack, which is pretty good for a featureless sphere. 24.
That is quite good. So you're manning the coil gun, which is a turret-mounted thing. So you got back up into like the little weapons section that I think we've described before. It has flat cannons on either side, and then there's the center coil gun that is turret mounted, so you can point it in any direction. So that's the one that has the best range and can most easily hit the vehicle, which I think they called Cinnabar.
Cinnabon.
Cinnabon.
Mm-hmm.
And they have that mining drill that's burrowing into the sides of the ship. So with the Starship coil gun, you get to roll 4d4.
4d4.
Yep.
All right. Hello, I am a quantum-enhanced titanium shell neurological and heuristic system for education and instruction. But please, eat hot death. 11.
11. So the other thing is that this is Starship damage, which for a frame of reference, things are basically at different scales in this game. So it's very difficult for a starship to hit a person. They basically take a huge penalty to hit them, but the damage is absurd. So you just blast it, and a whole bunch of dust kicks up on the ridge. You're confident you hit the vehicle. You're not sure if it's still there at all or not, but the coil gun starts, spinning and whirling, and you feel intensely powerful manning this position. You're not sure why you haven't done it before.
I believe I may have a new position on the ship.
Hey, buy up those ranks of pilot, and we'll talk.
I'm gonna retroactively buy a rank of pilot because I didn't understand when I leveled up. Okay, all right. So, can I shoot something else?
Nope, you're done.
I want to shoot something else.
You want to just be super effective?
I want to like where the snipers. I just want to across the snipers.
That's fair. There is a sniper up on that ridge. You could definitely target them next. They probably would not appreciate that.
What if I did like next full action, and then I could be like,
yeah, then you would have taken a penalty on that last attack roll.
Oh, well, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'll shut up now.
So Big 313 now has this red belter. He's somehow gotten that guy's head between his thighs and like twisted one of his legs up in some sort of wrestling
Like a lock.
move that. Yep. And the guy seems to be tapping out as if it's on TV, except Big 313 isn't letting up. So he has this guy in a grapple hold and seems to have him pinned down. Vangie.
I've got Marco is where now?
In front of you, he's like 5 feet away from you. He took a step back.
Cool. And who's that near, like right in front of me inside the ship?
Well, so this ooze
that's Squeebo.
is Squeebo. This is Amu. And
okay.
this is Hecubino.
All right. Then
this is Marcos, and these two further back are more red belters.
Okay, and those guys are still all wielding ranged weapons, or?
Correct.
Gotcha. All right, then I'm going to
machine gun, and these guys have laser rifles.
All right, then I'm going to move up to basically be right in the center of their little triangle.
Ooh, like moving right in between all of them?
Yep, exactly.
Well, you tower over all of them, much like your mini towers over all of their minis.
Mm-hmm. And she'll gesture to the various dead belters and say, "It's a war you're gonna lose." And then if we already have
so
like
Marco seems like he has a little dirt on his face, but it makes him look cooler. He seems fine. This guy, it's hard to keep track of their names, but
sure.
He happens to be named Anders. Is a little dinged up for sure, and this guy Ash got blasted once, but for not very much damage. So both a little bit injured, but not badly.
All right.
And Marco seems like fine. Marco seems, he also, from what you've been able to tell, seems like a stronger, like basically more competent soldier than the rest of them.
Fair enough. Then I'll attack the guy that is somewhat dinged up. See if I can take him down. That Anders, yep. 19 to hit.
Hit. The tactical pike is gonna be. Oof! I'm not looking forward to this.
13 damage.
Yeah, down he goes.
Sweet.
Cleave him.
Yeah, I can't. I unfortunately can't cleave because that's not how that works in Starfinder. They have to be adjacent to each other, even though I'm threatening multiple of them. It's dumb.
Oh.
Well,
next time I'll try to line them up for you.
Yeah, you'll have to console yourself with knocking a person out like per round of
once
combat.
per round. Yeah. Cold comfort.
That's what you name your frosty pike.
Yeah, once I get a sweet enhancement on it, I will.
Okay, Bob.
I'm going to run up next to Hecubino, and then I'm going to fire across at that other guy.
Not Marcos, but the other guy?
Yeah, the one that I've been shooting at the entire time. And that's a 24.
It's a very solid hit, but
3 damage.
Yeah. You line up the perfect shot. You're like, you see a weakness right in between these two shoulder pads, and you shoot there, and you damage him right between the shoulder pads, and he's like, ow, that kind of stings.
This guy.
Or in, their little Creole language, it would be like, oh, that sting.
I'm still on fire.
Oh yeah, you still are on fire. So that with that reflex save, you're definitely still on fire. So let's go ahead and give you that fire damage, which is 4.
Oh, 4 this time. Okay. And I'm done.
So it looks like whatever Quentin did, it has certainly disrupted the assault from the Cinnabar up on the ridge, and it does not attack this round. So Hecubino,
nicely done.
Brings it to you. Yeah, good job, Quentin. Actually, Grace will even say that. Good job, Quentin.
Bob probably doesn't need a whole D8 plus wisdom healed. Hecubino is going to. Okay, so there are only 2 guys left that don't have an android on top of them, right?
That's correct. These two.
Okay.
Plus, there's a sniper on the ridge, but
Right. Well, maybe Quentin can take care of that. I'm going to use a whatchamajigget, a mind thrust on the guy that Bob's been shooting at.
The leader.
Ash.
Yep.
Oh, the other guy.
No, not the leader, the other guy. And I'm able to, will cast it as a second level spell. So that's gonna be a Savo. Where'd I write that down? Here we go. 17.
Yikes. So what happens if I fail?
When you cast, let's see, vulnerable portion of opponent's mind, will saving throw to half the damage dealt by the spell. So it hits for full damage. At second level, it deals 4d10 damage.
Why don't you roll it? Hecubino has stopped kidding around and is starting to throw mental elbows.
So, what did you attack, Rodrigo?
Jumping fish hooks.
The guy that's been shooting at you.
Yeah, but you attacked his KAC or EAC?
Oh, I
His
didn't
will
attack
save.
him. He
okay.
failed to resist the power of my mind.
Ah, okay. I was wondering why you rolled, and I was like, well, you rolled much lower than I did.
Nope.
What?
He rolls for it.
Got it.
As you recall, a mind thrust is overwhelming their mental defenses with information of some sort, trapping them in some horrible world that damages them psychically. So what do you do to this mercenary?
No, Hecubino will pull from his own memories, and this guy will find himself in like a one-room schoolhouse sitting at a desk. And there'll be Hecubino dressed like a school marm and like hit him over the knuckles with a ruler and say it again, and just like make it like anytime he says like, oh, the brown fox, John's like, no, you have to pronounce it like this. I am using language as a way to oppress you.
Oh my god!
Now, is he assaulting this guy with one of Hecubino's memories?
Yeah, getting our Akaton accents beaten out of us by the orphanarium.
Yeah.
Well, at that, he starts like you see, everyone can see him start mouthing the words, and then like as he says something in that thick accent that they have, blood starts running down his nose and out the eyes and from the ears, and then he just collapses. But he's still like mouthing the words in a catatonic state on the ground.
Okay. So Hecubino probably did like a squint and like hold out a hand kind of thing, and then he at the end of that he'll turn the hand on the leader and be like, last chance.
All right, why don't you give me a quick intimidate check?
15.
All right. He's certainly thinking about it. He's thinking about that or trying to get away.
Yeah, I rolled a 5 on that. That is not. Hecubino can do better.
Keeping with the theme of your pseudo pets taking care of cleaning up the mess, Herman is going to just go ahead and grab this mechanic's body and take it into his crate and disappear.
Oh no.
Not to be worried about again. It's now just a simple crate.
That's what we get for letting scavengers live in our ship.
Hey, it could be worse.
You're the ones that hired Amu.
Hi. Riddick, you're the only one close enough to hear that the sounds that are coming from that crate that are horrible sounds, and you're not sure which come from Herman and which come from, the body, but might be best not to think about it. Anyway, it's your turn.
Is there a penalty for firing into melee?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay, I think I'm gonna kind of run out a bit, grab a few of these soap pods and start tossing them at the last guy there who's on Vengi, and basically just threaten to seek the use on him. And then if that's sufficiently using my surroundings for an advantage, can I use that for my trick to roll survival?
Absolutely. Go ahead and try it. So you are your survival check is the compartments of the
Super
space suds.
Yeah.
That doesn't really seem like survival, actually, now that I'm considering it. Like, don't get me wrong, you're being aware of your circumstances. That's good. But it doesn't really feel like survival because you're not using the natural world in any way.
Okay. What's the terrain outside the ship?
Mars.
It's Mars, yeah. That's right.
Okay. I didn't know if we were in like manufactured spaceport or whatever, but could there be perhaps some sort of like burrowing creature holes, like, and maybe like take a few
the Thastron K-Fax that we've previously established, these little burrowing holes, and our giant crustacean monsters that live on this world? Yes, there could be.
Yeah, I think I'll make just a few stray pot shots to kind of like get him to stumble and maybe catch his foot in one, and use that to maybe take him off guard and try to shoot him good.
Yeah, I like that. Go for it.
All right. Oh, okay. So 29.
Yeah. Again, that's an CR9s at you, so you got it.
All right.
Catching him flat-footed, and you get your bonus die damage.
So 8 damage, and we'll go ahead and make him flat-footed until the start of my next turn.
Great. So he manages to take that shot, and he like kind of ducks out of the way of it. It blasts off like some of his armor on his thigh, and he like rubs some dirt on it and is okay, meaning that he is still, far from even bloodied.
All right. Well, he'll be easier to hit for other people.
That's true. So you did catch him off guard. He had to twist one of his he almost twisted his ankle in one of those K-Fac holes. So Grace will provide a little fireworks show for Quentin, showing his success at blowing up the ridge where the cinnabar is. Although she zooms in, it looks like the vehicle is still there, but it you might have blown up its power unit, which would mean they could escape, but they can't. They might not be able to fire their mining drill at the ship anymore.
Okay.
And that brings it to Amu.
We get another turn. Oh boy. The only bad guy left is the boss, right?
Yeah, I mean, technically there's a sniper on the ridge, but yes, the only bad guy left here is the boss.
Yeah,
well,
we're
the
not going to
only
be able
enemy.
to.
Let's not make any moral judgments.
But you're my friends. You can't be bad guys.
Oh, that's true. Nope.
That's right.
Your logic is sound.
You're always the heroes of your own story, and this is your story.
To the very last scene when Quentin says, "I'm the bad guy."
Are we the baddies?
Are we the bad guys? That's what Amu would say anyway.
I guess I'm going to try and
You could always inject him with some sort of sedative.
I guess I do. Where is it?
Well, your weapon is also merciful, so if you hit him with it, it'll do non-lethal damage, and you can also get that injection thing where you inject him with some sort of, whether it's a booster or a actual intoxicant of some sort.
I'm going to use my toxicology study. Put that into the weapon, step however far forward I need to step to be able to smack him, which I think is just one space.
It is just one space because of the reach.
Woo, reach. And then we're going to try and make him sick. Yeah. Nope.
I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry.
At least it doesn't waste the thing with the melee attacks.
That's true. You swing your staff wildly, and it does not connect with him, and therefore nothing happens.
Oh well.
Is there a way to ascertain whether we've disabled the Cinnabar?
Yeah, so Grace actually showed Quentin, but I don't know that Hecubino knows. You could,
Right.
do you have like any sort of binoculars?
No, I don't need to know. I just need for the party to know.
So Quentin knows that the Cinnabar's power, whatever it was using to power the mining drill, has been disrupted because Grace showed it to him.
Okay. Well,
the actual vehicle looks pretty dinged up, but might still be able to like drive away.
Okay, Matthew, think about communicating that to us when you get your go.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right. The sniper is going to decide that this is the time when snipers choose to get out of dodge. Squeebo is going to continue cleaning up the mess. Whoop. There's -1 person you might have to worry about interrogating or turning into local law enforcement.
We actually don't have. We have a surprisingly effective body disposal system on this ship.
Yeah.
If we ever really decide to become serial killers or organ harvesters, we're like in good shape.
Marcos is going to take a guarded step away from the person with a pike.
Yep.
And then run. So he's running off. You guys could try to stop him, but it goes to Quentin first, who's still manning the ship weapons.
You think I could shoot right in front of him and cause an explosion that would knock him down and not kill him?
So effectively, no, because you're way too close to the ship.
What if I shoot behind him and cause an explosion that does kill him?
Again, even more no.
What if I just shoot him?
That's even closer.
Oh, okay. So you're saying shoot him?
No.
All right.
Kevin, I don't understand what you want me to do. How do I shoot him with the ship's weapons?
I mean, seriously, I'm sitting here. You're like, you can't shoot him. And I'm like, yes. How do I shoot him? Actually, so we've got a warthog on the ridge.
You do still have a warthog on the ridge. The sniper seems to drop down off the ridge. And
the sniper is running. All right, so what if I shoot the Cinnabon? I could shoot the Cinnabon, right?
You can. Cinnabon.
Okay. So Quentin will activate the communications array, actually the loudspeakers throughout the ship, and calmly announce the drill weapon seems to have been deactivated. I will now attempt to shoot the vehicle again. 19 to shoot the Cinnabon.
That's good enough.
The bar of cinnamon.
Yep. It's actually slightly higher, right? Because I bet you didn't include the +2.
That's true. A 21.
Yep. There you go.
Shoot
Hits.
the Cinnabar.
All right, Quentin, roll 44 for me, buddy.
We apologize that the damage was not up to our usual standards.
However, it is still ship damage, and it turns out that vehicle was already really dinged up from because again, if a normal person's largest round is 50 caliber, this thing is shooting ridiculous, like magnetized super bullets that pierce 10-foot thick holes. So
the metaphorical shells as big as steers, if you will.
Yeah. So it explodes. There's actually there's a big explosion up on the roof.
Quentin once again accesses the intercom. Violence is the last refuge of the incompetent. However, it is quite enjoyable.
Remind me not to get into a bar fight with all of y'all. Big 313 drawls as he knocks this person unconscious the way a reasonable fighter who cares about the lives of the people he's fighting against does.
The elbow strike to the head.
Can I say something as Hecubino?
Absolutely, Hecubino. Do it.
Okay. I was like, hey, 313, you okay with that guy getting away? You're going to be okay if he makes it back to his base?
I mean, you guys have already proven that, you've got my back, so they probably won't threaten me again.
All right.
That doesn't preclude them threatening the rest of us again.
But you'd have an enemy if you let him live. He seems to be booking it in a cloud of dust, like off into the wilds. So I'm going to let the next 3 people to act, the next 3 PCs, that is, decide on Marcos's fate, whether you're going to try to hunt him down and kill him, or just let him go and, deal with it if he ever comes back. But
or wait till he's far enough away for Quentin to shoot him.
Sure. So it's the next 3 people to act are Vangie, Bob, and Hecubino. So you guys you're all right next to each other too, so you can kind of discuss.
I actually still want to capture him, and maybe we can interview him for the show.
Yeah, right. Let's do it. Let's just knock him out.
I command him to halt, and then we dogpile him.
Yep, that works. I've already Nat 1'd his will save, so he is halted, and you guys can dogpile and capture him. So it's up to you. Given no other orders, Squeebo will disintegrate this other person.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so then you have 2 captives left. The one that Big 313 captured and Marcos. And you have regained control of the Squeaky Clean with only minor hull damage. And you did not succumb to extortion this time because you are more capable of violence than the Red Belter gang.
Woo!
Violence begets only violence.
And so you have clearly advanced your mission, which was finding out what happened to Team Elysium when their ship was presumably sabotaged on this planet 3 seasons of Drifters ago. Wait, what? We didn't do that at all.
You know what? Their extorting us was also not going to forward that mission.
Furthermore, we don't know that. These guys are local mercenaries, and we capture them. So
yeah, so they might have some intel.
Let's get some elbows into their eye sockets and see what they got to say.
I have a diamond drill that's really...
Do we need to make a truth serum?
Ooh, yes.
That's a way more reasonable suggestion, Amu. So with that, Herman, some innocuous crate just randomly disappears and goes off to eat its, nothing.
Horrifying meal.
And Squeebo will go and start cleaning up the bloodstains and the scorch marks of the laser pistols that were fired in the ship. And you guys can take Marcus and one of these guys. I think it's Ford, who is still alive at the end. And you have them in custody for interviewing, which you can do next time.
Ooh, sounds
critical hit.
Sounds like a plan, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. We'll be back next time. In the meantime, until we meet again, until we interrogate this guy, as Rodrigo so graphically described, Here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2021 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.